Hi, everyone. Teresa Aker from Diaries with Teresa Aker. It's my pleasure today to introduce to you Karlin Tapia. How you doing, Karlin?
It's so great to be here, Teresa. Thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. It's a delight. You're absolutely a lovely lady. So I'm just going to do a quick biography about you, then we'll come back, okay? So is a life coach at owner of Life Ignited Company, mental health practitioner at Karlin Tapia, LLC. Well done, Karlin. So let's get started. Where can we go? Can we start at the beginning? What got you into this and what you're doing?
Sure, of course. Thank you for asking. Well, I originally wanted to be a lawyer, and I've always had this passion to help people and fight for people. And I just switched and pivoted to how I do that. And so now I'm a somatic practitioner. A lot of people don't know what somatic means. And so that's why I just say mental health practitioner. Somatic means that you're releasing toxic emotions from your body. A lot of us, we weren't taught how to let go or how to release anger, especially like I come from a Christian background and I'm still a Christian, but I just now with more education, I could just believe and think for myself a lot more. It was my self-discovery journey that allowed me to really hone in into, oh, I really want to share this with other people that they can experience the same thing that I experienced of transforming.
So, Carlin, if I might, so do you talk to, so you said releasing anger, releasing, I'm thinking emotions like frustration and guilt and things like that.
Right.
Would it be trauma, perhaps from any age, I guess, from when you're a child all the way up? Or would it be grief counseling? What kind of areas do you work on? Well, more specifically, where do you target?
Yeah, I target areas where people's voice has been taken away. So it could be domestic violence or sexual abuse from childhood or adulthood.
That's that's incredible, and I'm sure that's really needed.
Yes, it is.
Carlin, well done. That's an area that I think a lot of people who ever have experienced that, that is a deep, deep emotion. In fact, I think probably a lot of people push it down in their, would that make sense to you?
Yes.
So then it manifests in other areas that I would think. I'm certainly not a doctor, you are a practitioner. When you talk about helping someone, what kind of things would you do with them?
Yeah, well, I first build my relationship with the client. And so I feel like people have a just negative connotation sometimes with when it comes to coaching or therapy because I've heard it from my own family that you just talk about your problems. And
Oh,
yeah, and in the initial consultation, we talk about your goals because we're especially social workers. My background is in social work. I'm not seeing the person in front of me as a problem or as there's something wrong with them. I'm seeing someone that is valuable and worthy and needs skills, needs to process trauma, needs help. A lot of people sometimes don't even know how to put words to their pain. And so that's why I'm there to guide them and facilitate.
I thought of that too, Carlin. I thought there's got to be a lot of people out there that, remember I had said buried it, probably even tried to, so they may have a tough time trying to even figure out what the problem is. And if you're able, so that, sorry to stop there, but then I would think, okay, so how would someone know to come to you? Does it come out in other areas?
It does. I see a lot of people can't have a long-lasting relationship with a partner, or they don't have a lot of friends, friendships, community. Some of them don't take care of themselves very well. It manifests in every area of their lives.
So I'm also thinking, Carlin, along with that, probably, perhaps, and again, I'm not a doctor, but addictions may come with that. Would you be dealing with that as well with some people?
Oh, yes, yes. That's a way of people want to numb their pain and cope 3 times a day. Not necessarily, oh, addicted to alcohol.
Sure.
So, yes, those behaviors do show that there are some areas in your life that you need to take a look at.
I would think it would be difficult, as you said, with relationships. Do you work with both partners? I would imagine that's necessary.
Yes, I do because especially with sexual trauma, you do want to inform. So I'm a survivor, and so that's also another reason why I can relate and be empathetic. And I help them communicate their needs in a non-violent way. And so it takes a lot of practice to to show and demonstrate how to treat someone that has been mistreated that way so that they can flow in the relationship and be a team.
I can imagine then, since you are a survivor, good for you. I'm really happy for you. I'm sorry it happened to you, but that's great. But you have empathy for others. And because of that, you've turned it into something amazing. So honestly, that's wonderful. The second part of my thought is that this is tremendously deep work. How long do you work with patients? How long would you be willing to work with them? Is there a point when you say, okay, they've had a lot of work with you and they are able to get past it?
So first, I don't call them patients because again, that's a medical model of like seeing that something's wrong with the person. And
Okay.
so there's nothing wrong with this person. Their brain is actually functioning well. They are reacting to their trauma.
Sure.
And then second, I start them with 6 months. I build a foundation with them to help them build skills of regulating their emotions, helping them say no, helping them learn what they like and what they don't like. I remember when I didn't know what I liked because I was only pleasing my abuser. And so it's a lot of foundation work first. And then I ask them if they want to renew or not for 6 more months.
I see. Can we circle back a little bit?
Sure.
So you are a survivor. When you were going through it, when I say that, when you were recovering from the
Okay.
trauma,
Uh-huh.
how did you find an amazing counselor or mentor that could get you through it? Is that how you were able to go forward?
I'm okay with answering that. It was it definitely is it's a village, it takes a village. So I remember wanting it though. Like I wanted to succeed. I believed that I could succeed since a little girl. So when I was aware of my situation, I was like, "Oh my goodness, like what happened?" And so I'm going to overcome this. Like I said, as a little girl, I wanted to fight for people, and that was a big driver for me. And so I did obtain or received a lot of coaching and therapy. And this couple were like, I call them like spiritual parents, and they were like my pillars until I could get on my feet and be on my own.
I would think that it's imperative, just as you just said, to have a safe place and a safe person to be able to express yourself and to say, this happened to me. So you would have to trust yourself and the other person that you're in a safe place and you're able to express yourself in all the ways you need to in order to heal. Would that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. We cannot do it alone. I see a lot of self-discovery books or self-healing. And yeah, it's good information, but at the end of the day, we are wired to do this kind of work with another human being that is safe, that is knowledgeable, that can help you if you escalate because you're in a flashback or you're releasing anger for the first time, that practitioner can help you de-escalate and help you regulate your emotions. If not, you're prone to do harm to yourself.
Not be a patient, be patient, and for them to embrace you and understand that you're able to get them to where they need to be. The other idea I have in my mind is that the trauma must be devastating, must be absolutely devastating. So the anger, where people show the anger, everybody would be different how they do it. They may not even be aware that they're angry, because I do know people who are angry, it seems, all the time, but they don't think they're angry.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So
Yes, I see it all the time.
yeah, so your situation as a therapist for them is quite delicate. So well done. And I'm sure we need a lot of people like you, Carla.
Yes, yeah, it's something that you're called to do, definitely. It's not something one picks, it's you're called to do that.
Well, yeah, and it would be every day in your career, you're sensitive to that too, and you've been through it.
Yeah, we are taught in school how to put that boundary to not re-experience it, and we are taught to do a lot of self-care. And we do take long periods of breaks. Like if we start burning out, I've had seasons where I've just traveled. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So do you do coaching together or classes, or do you do one-on-one? What do you do, Carlin?
I prefer to do right now. I have a special where I do a 12-week program, and it's an intimate coaching group because I've found that a lot of my one-on-one clients, they're dealing with similar issues
Sure.
and struggles and all of that. And so I found that if I cultivated a safe space between them, I can even give them more like, in the sense of like I can teach them how to listen to each other, listening skills, to be validate each other's emotions, how to communicate their needs because someone might trigger the other person, activate something, then they learn how to say that, how to confront that in a healthy way.
That's really good. I've always thought group counseling actually, in some cases, is better for people because you feel the camaraderie and you feel like I'm not in this alone. And if
Exactly.
they can go through this, so can I. I do feel that way, but I also think the one-on-one is certainly important as well. And perhaps with couples or parents and children, I don't know if you deal with children as well, but they may have to come to you for that as well. So I'm sure there's a lot of areas that you're dealing with.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm open, of course, to doing one-on-one, but there's a point where I'm like, okay, they've built enough rapport, enough resilience, so then I move them to the group therapy.
Makes total sense. And your courses, are they online for the rest of them or?
Yes, they are. I love doing everything online, and I do have some clients that come that are local. But I like doing it online because it just breaks so many barriers. Like some people that have been through trauma, sometimes we don't want to, you know, just get dressed. Sometimes we just want to put whatever we find. And so it just breaks a lot of barriers, a lot of also like transportation barriers.
Yeah.
And it's really intimate because it's in their space, in their safe space. Whereas when someone goes to a clinic or a therapy suite, then you have well, when I'm observing, they are, watching out for everything that moves and very hypervigilant. So that's why I do it online. Or ADHD, maybe you can't come on time, and then you know, that would affect my other clients.
Oh, good point. Absolutely good point. Now, if people wanted to do did you say you had a podcast? I'm
I do have a podcast. It's on Spotify and Apple. It's called Brave Steps Forward. And I really, the intention behind it is to motivate people. Like I share vulnerable things about my journey. I interview a lot of people and I ask them like how did they start their healing journey or how did they become an author or there's all sorts of people from different backgrounds on the podcast.
perfect. I'll make sure that your information's here so people can listen to your podcast and can reach out to you. If someone wanted to talk to you right now, let's say, what would be the best place for them to get a hold of you?
Yeah, I'm mostly, to be honest, on Facebook because I've seen that Facebook just has people that are wanting to build relationships. quicker. And so my assistant is always monitoring the messenger, and during the day when I'm up, I'm also available and I make myself available because, well, that's like another story of just like I really want to be accessible and not like, oh, I messaged this person, but they get back to me 2 weeks, you know. I at least give them like a video to start with or something so that they can hang on to hope.
Oh, that's excellent. And you're very kind and very warm, so I can see people would want to talk to you. Absolutely. Now, would some healthcare providers take care of your courses?
Yes, anybody could take my class.
Would like healthcare programs, would that be part of it? They can claim it, I guess, on their medical. Is that something
Oh,
that
I
they
see what
do?
you're saying. No, I've moved away from that. Yeah, just for clarification. So I'm very biased, obviously, because I have a lot of knowledge, but insurances, in my opinion, don't really, they're outdated on what really works. You know, science is moving really fast, and especially in the mental health field. And it takes a while for them to make laws and approve new techniques and practitioners. And so a lot of the work that I do, sometimes they don't recognize it. It's gonna take some time to for them to recognize it. Also, I would be limited in like I wouldn't be able to travel because we're licensed in one state.
Oh, I see. Okay, I get that.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I didn't know how it works because I'm in Canada as well and you're in the United States. So good to know for people calling in or needing your course. So at this point, I want them to be able to reach out to you. So I will make sure that all your information is here. Make sure that we have your Facebook account and all of that. I know you said you had a YouTube channel. So can they access that as well?
Yes, it's the same thing. It's actually connected to the podcast, Brave Steps Forward.
So it's all part of the same
Yeah.
thing. Is there anything else that you'd like to share? Is there any tips that you could give us today?
Yeah,
Before
of
we can-
course. Yeah. I would love to challenge and invite people that are so successful and they have businesses and have families and what have you that, everybody had a childhood and to really reflect on, is there any inner work that I need to do? And that you're very valuable and worth the investment. Because when you start getting to know yourself, healing, breaking some cycles, you're going to even be able to expand even more, like expand your life, be resilient, and continue to create a life that makes you feel alive and replenished, and that you are going to want to wake up to. So that's what I would love to tell your audience.
Because if any of you have any issues that are traumatizing and you feel like you need to talk, Karlin is going to be there for you and share your story and let us know what you do. So would you come back and talk to us again, Karlin?
Of course. Yeah, I would love to.
Great. I would love to have you back. You're a very nice lady, and I know you can help a lot of people. And so, to everyone here, this is Karla Tapia, and she's there to help you. I'm going to make sure all her information's there for you. Reach out because if you're having any kind of trauma, she's definitely the person you want to reach out to. For everyone else, this is Teresa Aker from Success Diaries with Teresa Aker. I hope you're all having a great day, and I look forward to talking to you all very soon. Thank you. Thank you, Carl.